Willie D Live.
What's up, family? A security officer testified today that Diddy paid him $100,000 in a brown paper bag for security surveillance footage that showed him beating up his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, at a Los Angeles area hotel in 2016. The security officer, Eddie Garcia, is testifying under an immunity order after telling the government that he intends to assert his First Amendment right to not incriminate himself. Eddie testified that on March 5th, 2016, the date of the assault, he received a call from an employee of Diddy, Christina Coram, who asked him if there was a way she could get a copy of the footage. He testified that he told her no and declined again when she showed up in the lobby the next day. Eddie said he received another call from Christina later that day, who connected him to Diddy, who hopped on the phone and sounded nervous. He said Diddy told him that he had a little bit too much to drink that day, and if that video got out, it could ruin him. Eddie, who said he was 24 years old at the time, rebuffed Diddy again. He said, but Diddy and Christina called him again. And Diddy told him, look, man, I'll take care of you. Ding, 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 ding. Finally, it hit Eddie like a ton of bricks. Take care of me, implying that there was some money involved. So Eddie contacts his supervisor, and the supervisor said, yo, man, we'll give it to him for $50,000. So he calls Diddy back, and Diddy go get really, really excited. Like, whoa, man, yeah, come on, let's do it. So they meet up right away to make the exchange. Say Diddy come out with a bag full of money and a money machine and counting the money by stacks of $10,000. And he said it gets to 100,000. He asks, and Diddy asked him, did he want to count? He said, no, I trust the machine. I found that interesting that he said, I trust the machine. Not you, but I trust this machine. But in any event, dude say he gave his supervisor $50,000. He gave his colleague $20,000, and he kept $30,000 for himself and bought himself a used car. Boy, that money's something else, ain't it fair? Dude, Eddie was really trying to act like he had integrity. Like he was really standing on business. Like, nah, I'm not doing. You'll never get that footage. I ain't never gonna give you that footage. I take care of you, huh? What kind of money we talking about? Just like, boy, that money's something else. Speaking of money, the money man, Diddy's CFO, was also on the stand today. Derek Ferguson. But Derek didn't really offer up a lot. He didn't really offer up a lot. He was just saying that, hey, I control the money and these are the companies, and this is how the money was dispersed. This is how we paid our bills. This is how we reimbursed our employees. These are the type of credit cards that we use and things of that nature. He really didn't offer a lot. But that security guard, yeah, man, the security guard, security officer, that dude, he had some heavy stuff because he signed an NDA and he brought receipts. They showed the NDA in the courtroom. That's heavy. That's heavy. Having said that, family, I'm telling you, the chances of Diddy being convicted are slim to none. Just because his paper is long and we live in a capitalistic society and we've seen it happen 1,000 million times. We've seen it happen 1,000,000 times where if you got connections and your paper long enough, You don't play by the same rules everybody else play by. And you're not punished. You're not held accountable by the same standards everybody else is. That's all I'm saying. I think the prosecution had a pretty good day, especially with witness Eddie Garcia, because the defense only asked like 2 or 3 questions, and they were like, "All right, man, get on out of here, man. Like we ain't trying to remember this testimony that you talking too much." The defense was like, "All right, we're done." Asked him like 2 or 3 questions, and got him on up out of there. So that witness was effective because it showed that money was exchanging hands. But here go the thing though. Diddy ain't on trial for beating up Cassie. So again, they're just trying to show, what they're trying to show is Diddy's character, right? The flaws in Diddy's character. They're trying to show once again that Diddy is a man that will go to any length to get what he wants. He will use violence. He will use money to pay people off, to make people bend to his will. He'll do whatever it takes to get what he wants. And that's really what that's about. That means that also hiding evidence, buying evidence, in a well, it didn't become a criminal case, but in a potentially criminal case, Diddy was trying to cover his tracks. And that's what they're saying. This guy, he's the track coverer, He'll cover his tracks. He'll spend money. He'll do whatever it takes to get out of a jam. That's what but that seemed like to me, that's all the prosecution have. You would think that the CFO was going to bring the heat. I'm thinking, okay, this dude on the inside. That's the guy on the inside. He's the CFO. So he got to know where the bodies are buried. I didn't see it. Not from him. Not from him. Now, there is somebody that if they brought him on the stand, I think he's set to testify. I'm not going to even say his name. If they bring him up to testify, I'll say his name then. And I'm not saying I got that kind of juice, but I don't want to give nobody any kind of ideas because, I just think the railroad is already happening, and I'm not going to assist them. I'm just not going to help them. But there is somebody who was around Diddy all the time, that if they called him, if they were able to flip him, because the prosecution can call somebody and just get standard information, nothing major. But if they were able to flip him, if they had something on him, they could flip him. Like, in other words, yeah, we got you too. Now, you want to face a life sentence, or you want to get this little old immunity package like everybody else been getting? You want a deal, or you want to get behind that steel? Which one you want? That's how that go. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.